At Boehringer Ingelheim, we are really committed to elevate the standards of our clinical research. And one way how we do this is we design our clinical trials together with patients and their caregivers and our trial site staff.
In clinical trials, it's not just the patient that comes for the trial, but also the caregiver. And so that's why it's important to incorporate their participation, because they're the person that's driving that individual to that clinical trial, and they're the one who's supporting them while they're going through the process.
That really helps us to minimize the burden of participation in clinical trials. It helps us to increase diversity, equity, and inclusion in clinical trials. And also very important, it helps us to accelerate how we bring our medicines to patients in need. We engage with patient organizations and sites very early on during the trial design, and we build trusted long-term partnerships with them. To understand what are the needs and the perspectives of patients and caregivers and trial site staff, we do, for example, trial simulations. So a trial simulation is a role play that we do very early on during the design of a clinical trial, and helps us to really understand the pain points from patients, caregivers, and trial site staff. Then we make it a priority to actually find solutions addressing these pain points. And if we cannot address these pain points for regulatory reasons, for example, we are also transparent why this was not possible.
I was really grateful to Boehringer for allowing me to be part of the simulation trials, because it really made me understand what was involved. Because when you read it on paper, you don't understand what it involves physically and mentally when you have to go through the whole process. We actually know two people who don't have caregivers, and so they decided not to participate in clinical trials. And so one of the things we thought, well, how can we support them? And so one of the things I have proposed to Boehringer was that, could you provide transportation so that somebody can pick them up, somebody can drop them back, and then someone would call them to make sure that they were okay once they got home. So we recognize that those are issues that have to be looked at, because not everyone has a caregiver, right? And caregivers are so essential, as we all know, in our patient journeys.